Hi, welcome back to the Rainbow Room International podcast channel. I'm Ricardo Corvey and I'm here with Julianne Donaldson, who has our Crow Road salon. In part one, we've covered our time from basically our school career right through to qualifying as a stylist, becoming a teacher, and then on the brink of becoming a franchisee at Rainbow Room International. We're going to continue her origin story now. Today's podcast has been sponsored by Mataki Scissors. And I'm an ambassador for the brand, and I've been using them now for about 7 months, and they have been amazing. The fact that they're a British-based company, the fact that we can pick up the phone and work with them, and we can get everything sharpened with them has been absolutely unique. So today's podcast is brought to you with the help of Mataki Scissors. Julianne.
Yes.
I nearly said so. I'll let you into a window here that hairdressers start every sentence with so. How can I help you? What are we doing for you today? And then some poor guy's got to edit it for hours and hours and hours. So I'm going to try and stop saying so. So, no problem. the time's coming.
Yep.
Obviously, we talked about in part one that you're under the stewardship of John.
Yes.
Jo's obviously kind of the director of the salon. She's in 3 days. She's still doing 3 days before the fall.
Still doing 3 days, yeah.
So obviously had the kids, and then she has this horrendous fall coming out the bus at a wedding, and just destroys her ankle, and she's out for a year, and that speeds up the sort of thought process for John and Jo to decide that they're going to concentrate on Great Western Road, and this opportunity is coming up at Crow Road, and obviously you'd already spoke to Alan and Linda, but yourself and Andrew coming into it. So that's where we're at this moment in time. When did, and I am going to swear, sorry Linda, when did the shit get real? When did it all of a sudden, you've voiced all that, you've put all that out there, that all of a sudden it's like Alan and Linda went, yeah,
this is going to happen. So basically I'd spoke to Alan and Linda before this, and it was like a 5-year plan, because I'm a planner right? And then we took over the franchise in the March, and it was literally the end of January, start of February. Linda phoned me, says, come in for a meeting, you and Andrew. And I'm like, all right, okay. As well. And she's like, right. John had already kind of had a wee gauge thinking, I'm thinking I might just stick to the one.
Give you a wee bit of a heads up.
Yeah, as well. And then we went into the meeting, Alan and Linda were like, look, you're already doing all the work for it. Do you want to just take on the franchise? You'll be taking over in March. I was like, oh, right. Okay. I was like, I would love to. I was like, she's like, but you need just to get all your finances in order. You need to go and get your bank stuff all sorted, get all that kind of things, get everything sorted. So we literally had 2 months to organise it.
Yeah, because the timeline of setting up a business bank account at that time was probably
like 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah. So we literally only had 8 weeks as well. So we had like 6 weeks to.
And even just daft mechanics of switching over your card machines to that bank account and all that, was that not a bit of a headache?
Yeah, it was quite a lot as well. And John had a lot of things joined for Crow Road and Great Western Road. So we had to spend so Alan actually had to help us quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's like, right, I'm going to need to phone these ones because they're connected.
Yeah,
to
so
separate
gas,
them all.
electricity, all of those kind of things, which is the right thing to do for him, because obviously he's wanting to try and maximise his discount for having two businesses, but obviously it becomes a headache when it's time to.
So it took us quite a, and it actually took me like a good few months after we took over to finalise some of the ones.
As
well, to get it all kind of organised and finished.
Because they're not wanting to play, but you've signed a contract. That's the deal. They're not wanting.
They're like, well, that contract doesn't finish for another 6 months, and I'm like, well, they no longer have it, so we need to organise this.
And there'll be no money coming out of that bank account. So what would
so
you like to do about it?
So you need to organise that, and they're like, oh right, okay. So it did take us a bit of time.
Okay, which is not the normal.
No, so we were kind of flung in the deep end a wee bit.
Yeah.
But I think I'm glad that we were flung in like that, because it didn't give me time to panic and really think about it. I just had to go and do it.
That is an Alan thing.
Yeah.
Again, that and I admire him so much for it, and I'm not like that. I'll overthink the thing until it's time to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas he's just like, suck it and see.
He's like, just go and do it.
Okay. And then whatever problems arise, we'll sort
Deal
it
with
from
it.
there. And well, needless to say, it has worked for him. So we should probably take more of the risk that he did. And where was Andrew in this, in respect to, had he started doing a bit of training on that, or?
No, Andrew had done no management training at this point. He was totally into the art team.
He was art team.
He was just all art team.
Yeah.
Liked the idea of it, but he kind of knew that I'd probably do the paperwork stuff and he'd be doing other stuff as well. We actually work really well that way. Yeah. There's like things that he's better at, things that I'm better at, so we work quite well. Yeah.
But it's not a good cop, bad cop thing.
No.
You kind of share the responsibility of that too, because that's then not fair on either or.
Yeah.
Because you might not be that motivated all the time to be the good guy, but then again, you don't want to be
the bad guy all the time.
You don't want to be that.
No, we're quite equal in that as well.
Right, good. And again, then the beauty of that is, back to what we're talking about in part one, is you do have all that art team influence again. Yeah. So it's yes, now it's spread between two franchisees, but it's the same body of work and background coming into starting the franchise, as opposed to, you know, I was a stylist in a salon, opened a salon. Well, no, I was a stylist, I was a teacher, I was a platform hairdresser, all these things.
Yep.
And was Andrew doing a lot of education at that point as well, or was he just solely art team?
He was mostly art team. He done he done teaching with Luke.
Yeah.
So he used to go to like do wee things and do.
Yes, he was doing platform and seminars. He
was doing seminars and doing all that kind of stuff. So he was doing teaching, but not teaching in our training academy.
Got you.
As well. So he was doing parts of it, but not.
And then doing night classes.
And then doing night classes as and stuff like that.
Well. Yeah, I'll admit the hardest thing that I've never really been able to replace is that synergy of having all stylists teaching all assistants.
Yeah.
That's that was my favourite thing.
That was mine too.
And it was easy. It was an easy sell because it was somebody stayed back to teach you.
Yeah.
So you know, whereas that has been litigated away from us now, whether that's employment law, or finance, or whatever,
definitely.
It's been completely killed on us, and for the detriment of our craft and the future of our craft. But let's not go down that rabbit hole. We've only got an hour, and we'll do that. So. You go to the lawyer's office to sign the papers. Did you do that bit? Did you?
We done it in the academy
right,
as well, because Alan had to just bring it all, because it was done so quickly.
Yeah.
He got the paperwork and brought it to us, and we just had to go in the academy and we signed it all in the academy as well. Brilliant. And then we had to go and get our lawyer at the time was luckily one of my uncles was a lawyer. Yeah. So he checked over everything, done it all. He's like, all looks good, absolutely fine. Send it in. So that was it.
I remember my lawyer going, I mean, they can take this business off if you're doing really, really well, but you're not using the right cups. And you're like, you know, that way again, looking at it from our eyes, because it's all we knew. Yeah, but that's how I do it. I'm not going to not do it like that. They're just protecting.
That's the way we would do it anyway.
This system, but that's how I'm going to do it. You know, which obviously we know why we put them in place. But so it gets real then, doesn't it?
Yeah. Very real. You know, and I think Andrew was just a bit in a daze. He was just like, I don't even know what's happening. He's like, what am I signing?
My big sister made me do it. What age were you at this point?
So I would have been, I don't know. Andrew would have been the youngest. He would have been 28 or 29. So I'd have been 31 maybe.
Right, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Aye. So I was 30, so that's 30, 31 in the cusp. It was kind of same kind of timeline. It's funny, I've just got it in my head that you were all 12.
I know.
You know that way. In my head, you two of you were 12, and
we were just babies
thrust into this situation, and you're kind of like going, "Aye, of course." You know
so like it was in the March. My birthday was in July, so I'd have been 30, turning 31.
Well, that's me. It's April. I was 30 in April, and 31 in the May.
So I think Andrew was the youngest so far because he was only 28.
Aye, baby.
He's a baby.
We'll keep him as that.
Yeah.
He'll not admit to it when he's in himself.
No.
But we'll throw him there. How quickly did you kind of feel going into it that it was going to be okay?
Pretty much after the first couple of months as well, because we still had all our same staff as well. So like, Ibda just like stayed. So we still had like Jane, Nick, Tara as well. So they all stayed. With a couple of young assistants that were just ready to qualify that left, but we didn't really have space for them at the time to come back anyway. So yeah, and then so it actually felt okay pretty much
I suppose it's
2 or 3 months in.
It's a unique thing because it was already there,
up and running,
and established, and you were already.
I was already doing all the paperwork stuff.
Part of
the only thing I didn't do was the accounts.
Right.
That was literally the only bit I never done.
Aye.
Was the actual accounts and the bank details and all that.
There's
kind
nothing
of
left.
Well, I've got no money left.
Yeah, so that's interesting because I guess that sort of trepidation going into it, you've not got from a what's the vibe going to be like, am I going to have a clientele, all that kind of thing, because obviously other salons, you know, you're opening the door day one and you're going, well, let's see what happens here. So that's interesting. And again, me sitting this side of the desk, probably never thought about it. That, you know, I'm thinking about you opening up the same way as I opened up. Yeah. But it's a completely different thing. What you do have, and the big challenge you have, is team members that were employed by another. Yeah, they worked beside you, and you were obviously you were starting to manage and teach and all that kind of stuff. How easy a transition was that?
That was probably the hardest bit, I think, as well, because some of us were at the same, like Andrew and Tara were the same level as well, so they were sitting at the same thing, mate, and so was Nick. Right, so we were all pretty much the same. I qualified maybe a year or two before them, so I only had a year or two more experience in them than what they had. But Andrew kind of qualified with them as well, or round about the same time, and maybe a few months each other. So I found it a wee tiny bit easier, but he didn't. But even at that, it was still tough because I still felt as if we're all at the same, and now I need to be in charge and telling you what to do.
There's a weird thing with that as well. Like, why have I got this? You know, why have I got it, and why have they either not or whatever? You know, and it's great in hindsight now because you go, well, I sacrificed all this other stuff, and all this other time to put me in this position, but you don't think about it like that.
No, you don't
at the time. And also, oh, by the way, I'm the one that's going to lose my house.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work you know, and or your, you know, reputation. Again, I'm not bothered with that, right? But you think, oh, it's going to be really embarrassing if this doesn't work. So you're carrying all of that, but it was your life choices and your hard work that put you into that position to then be able to have it, you know. And if you weren't up for it, and you and Andrew weren't up for it, then you would have said no, and they went to somebody else, and that was fine. But how did you find time management of juggling being the stylist? Obviously you'd said you'd taken less time out from the academy now, and did you go 5 days on the floor? Yeah,
so back on to 5 days on the floor, and then the usual stuff. You do paperwork in the house after work, so you're pretty much doing 6-7 days when you're taking over at the start as well. So it felt as if...
Did you open, was it open 5 days a week?
We were open 7 days at that point.
We were 7,
so we were open 7 days at that point, but then we got to the point the Mondays were dire. Like we either had 2 clients in, no clients in, or if it was a bank holiday Monday, we could be quite busy or really quiet. So we made decisions to decide, do you know what, we're going to shut on Monday. And it made literally no difference to us whatsoever as well. So and then we got to the stage where Sundays were actually always pretty good for us as well. But then we had an incident at COVID where a guy took really not well. Took a heart attack in his seat as well. Luckily it was a Saturday. It was busy. Me and Andrew, so it was one of our younger stylists, it was like we Sarah's client, so she panicked. Luckily Andrew was working next to her. Andrew's client was a doctor, thank God, as well. Obviously we've done all our first aid, done all your stuff, but when you're in the situation,
it's a different gig.
It took 3 of us to get him off the seat. And he wasn't like a massive man, but obviously he's a dead weight.
Of course.
As well. And obviously been hot, so he was stuck to the seat, leather seats as well. So it took 3 of us to get him off. So it was me, Andrew, and Andrew's client. We were doing all the right things, and then she's like, look, do you want me to take over because I'm a doctor? We're like, yes, please.
Yes, please.
As well. And she managed to get him back, so that was all good. Ambulance came. And me and Andrew were like, what if that happened on a Saturday? And it was just 2 of us in. Because at that point, it was only me and Andrew actually. We'd done alternate ones, so I was in one Saturday, he was in the next Saturday, so I always done like 2 a month. So we decided this is not a good option if somebody took not well, because then there wouldn't be enough people to help.
Right.
Because it was either normally just me and an assistant or Andrew and an assistant.
Right.
And maybe one other stylist.
Right. Was that on a Sunday?
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday, right.
So then we changed it, and we do every second Sunday, because we close one, opened one.
Okay.
So we do 6 days one week and 5 days the next week.
Right, okay. And then the clients pretty quickly?
Yeah, quite quickly transition to that.
Your Sunday clients are Sunday clients?
Yeah,
and
they love it.
And they love it. As long as they get it and they know what the time frame is, then, I mean, I've had to transition down to going from all 4 Sundays to 1 Sunday a period now, and all my original Sunday clients just go whatever one it is, and then if they're all full or it's busy and I know there's a couple of people needing to go and stuff, then I'll do a couple. It's not a problem. But so that, again, that's a really unique perspective to time management, and they just go, we're going to need more hands in here if anybody cops
if anybody and that's basically from, it had to be, that situation had to happen first before we decided oh, this is not going to work if it's only a couple of us in.
It's not in the what if book, no matter how much you try to figure that one out. That needs not coming up.
Happens.
So, but that you did that after COVID?
That was after COVID.
Yeah. So you've got that kind of timeline of working through, you know, up to that point. We'll get there.
Yeah, get to that one first.
Still got PTSD even saying the word out loud. How quickly did yourself and Andrew sort of find your lanes?
Quite quick, I think. I'd probably say maybe the first 6 months to a year. I felt as if it was kind of transitioning in quite well.
Yeah.
And then it was probably by doing me things we realised, actually you're better at doing that, I'm better at doing this, let's just work that round. And at that point Tara was doing management stuff as well, because she'd been talked about, she spoke to us that like she'd want her own franchise at some point, so that was fine. Nick had spoke to us about doing barbering stuff as well, so anybody that's left from us have went on and opened up their own salon as well, so I'm like, what, I'm happy for them, I want them to do well and do that as well. But it's always hard when you've got a good stylist leave your salon and go and work in a different one as well. But you want them to do amazing, so you don't mind.
That's it. I think it's actually more annoying when they leave and don't progress. And more sometimes when they completely chuck it, I'm always really disappointed, because you know the potential they've got, the talent, you know, that way. But then that's us wanting it for them. And if they didn't really want to be that person, then they were never going to fulfill that talent, or they had something else they were more passionate about. You know, could have been you could have done all that hairdressing and went, you know what, I really do want to be a physiotherapist, and went down that one. So kind of that wee sliding door moments are kind of out there. But at least the main thing for all of us is, can they leave us after qualifying and get a job anywhere? And be secure, and have we looked after them properly, because somebody did it for us. You know, we could have all left and we would have been all right as well. But it's just, you know, there'll be a million textbooks telling you to not treat them like family and not getting emotionally involved. And
you can't. I just don't understand how people could have that divide as well. Like, you do all work together, you work as a family, you all go out together, you all have, we do staff days out. Even more so at that point for you as well, because you are a comparable age. And you've grown up with them. It gets I mean, time of recording, I'm 52 now, and my team are, you know, kind of 30s and younger. So now there's that distance. And that's easier. Obviously I've got Debbie that's older than me, but that's just a kind of unique circumstance. But that's made that aspect easier. But what's made it difficult is the team that drinks together stays together. Because I took over that role for Alan. You know, you know, the 365 and all that, there would be guys coming going, oh, we used to see Alan and his team when they were out, and we wanted to hang about with them. And then I kind of took that role over and took the team out. And I don't, you know, and I just don't, it just doesn't happen as much, I don't think now. And I would love that, you know, but probably doesn't happen as much. So you're at that stage, he said so again, did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You're at the stage where you've kind of both found your lanes, and you talked about pinpointing your strengths and weaknesses together. Was that easy enough to let the ego go and go, right, you're better at that than me? Or I think because it was my brother,
Yeah.
Maybe I think if it was somebody else,
Yeah.
I would have found that harder to let go, because it was my brother. I'm thinking, right, okay, I know you're better than that
Right.
as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
which is unique as well, I guess, and because probably the downfall sometimes of us all with any kind of ego stuff.
And I know I'm a control freak, so I do like to be in control of things as well.
Didn't want to say.
Yeah, so so I know that I'm a wee bit of a control freak with certain things. So it did take me a wee bit of time to say, right, Andrew Black, can you please let me do that? And I'm like, right, okay, yeah, you can do that, it's fine as well. So it did take me a wee bit of time to kind of
but we know Andrew too.
But Andrew's so laid back, he's horizontal.
And you grew up with him, so but again, it probably makes an absolutely brilliant yin and yang.
It does as well. I do need to leave. If I'm going away, I'm doing in, he's got a list.
Oh, aye.
And then I give Ella a list.
Yeah, to check his checklist.
Check that he's done his list.
Check the checker.
Yeah.
Quite right. Did it have an impact as a hairdresser? Did it change your hairdressing or your column or your outlook on it?
Not really. I felt as if my column was still there, still kind of growing. I don't feel as if it really, because I still done 5 days. Yeah, I didn't really feel as if it affected my column too much at all.
Did you find yourself squeezing the extra client in?
Yes, I still do that as well. Yeah. So I would take a 5:15 cut and colour. You might finish at 6 as well. Yeah. So again,
no employment law for you now.
So that
when
doesn't
you signed
count.
that bit of paper,
that doesn't count for me.
No.
As well. But when it's your own, you don't mind doing it, and it's your regular clients, you're thinking, well, that's fine, I'll just squeeze you in.
Well, a lot of people don't understand the why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because not necessarily that money's going into
it's
your
not,
bank account.
It's not going into my bank account.
No,
it's more the fact that you want your clients. My job is to make people happy.
Yeah.
So I want them to be happy, and if they want to come in that last space.
You're also securing futures as well. You're future-proofing your business. Again, hindsight's a wonderful thing, that way. But you're getting to wages week. Yeah. It's week 4, and you're like, right, well, I need to make sure I'm here. And I can remember countless times leaving B Street on a Saturday, and late on a Saturday, because I wouldn't even be the early guy leaving. I would still have a couple of people around the section and all that, and in your head you go, wow, he must love it, as opposed to he must need it, and we've all been there. So I'm always quite interested in that position when you go for being a stylist, wanting to, because what you're talking about there is looking after your clients and looking after them, and you would be doing that in your clientele anyway. But all of a sudden your clientele takes on a completely different sort of funding
you're
stream.
Looking after your business as well as your clients as well.
So that is interesting that you're at that stage where it's like, well, doesn't matter.
Yeah, just give me the
time
clients.
It is, and you're half an hour up the road, so it's not like a mega long journey at that point as well. So, guess at that stage then, what were the pitfalls? Because your growth in the business has been pretty
consistent, I think,
and everything. But needless to say, when it comes to owning the salon, it's not like that, because you're now not in control of all the
other stuff as well. I think probably sometimes a pitfall was some people still refer to it as John and Joe's salon, right? And I'm like, no, it's not theirs anymore, it's ours as well. And I think that was a wee bit hard sometimes. So then thinking, right, I need to try and put my stamp on this and let everybody know this is
and
ours.
Who was that? Clients? Was that other people within the brand? Was that staff?
A wee bit of both. Sometimes it'd be clients, sometimes it'd be some staff as well. Yeah. So it's a wee bit of both as well. And I think because we were slightly younger, you did get a wee bit of that, but not as much. I would probably say not so much staff. I think it was probably more clients. Yeah.
Big personality too, and as well, you're not really telling the story of why and going into all that kind of stuff. So it's not you're really doing that, But two huge personalities to step into, and very unique, regardless of whether you had your own personality or not.
Definitely,
it's not really taking over from where they guys are at as well. So that's a challenge that kind of, again, from the outside looking in, thinking that because I'm instantly just thinking team members and folk leaving, and you went through a real period where that got really tricky, as opposed to just actually going, this is mine, this is my ball. And when, so from taking over, the two of you taking over, to getting to that point, how long did you think that took?
I probably think that took about a couple, 2 or 3 years.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it?
As well, because even like ones like, I still do some of Joe's clients.
Yeah.
They're obviously now my clients, but
Yeah,
sometimes I still say, oh, she was Joe's client.
Yeah.
As well. Because obviously she was off for a year with a broken leg. And then when she went back up to Great Western Road.
Yeah.
So they stayed with
Course.
me as well. But it was just wee things like that, you're thinking. And then they would always ask, oh, how's Joe doing? How's the kids doing? And stuff like that as well. Which is fine as well.
Yeah.
But it took me, like, they would definitely say now that they're my client. But it probably took them a couple of years before they realised, oh, I'm not Joe's client anymore, I'm your client.
Yeah. Oh, I cut 3 people in air and they're Alan's client.
And they're still Alan, you
cut
do get that.
Years, look, it was funny because I remember the point when it got to the, you know, when did you start getting your hair cut with them? Oh, such and such, and I'm going, right, well, I've been doing it for 20 years now, and
so
you only did it for 12.
Yeah,
so,
I've been doing it longer.
But, you know, I think that's a positive ego thing, though.
It is, as well,
I think that's it. And the chances are you're projecting that
more probably
to you
mm-hmm.
than anybody's actually doing, and they're asking because they're asking, you know, and it's, you know, is that client's equivalent of, are you going on any holidays? You know, is that just a salon chat?
Salon
but
chat.
Shows you how your brain works, doesn't it? That you're just thinking, oh no, I need to, I've got to put my stamp on this and do that. And, you know, in a couple of years, you know, you've knocked your pan out.
Yeah.
In those 2 years, it's
and I think I was pretty much doing 6 days most of the time.
Yeah.
Because you end up doing a day of doing paperwork.
Yeah.
But I end up going into, I think I'm just going to the salon and do that.
Yeah.
And then what happens as a client comes in, I'm thinking, I'll do the client.
Can I see the standby get a knock back?
Yeah, I'm not going to knock the client back, so I'll do the client, so paperwork just gets.
Yeah.
You need to stay further late.
It's kind of dangerous that as well. You've got that.
I had to train myself and stop myself from doing that, or else I would work 24/7.
Dress badly
as well
was always the trick. I would dress non-salon appropriate if I had to go in and do anything, and it was probably maybe a wee bit easier for me because I could hide upstairs and not really be seen. But the thing to stop me doing it is I've got a pair of jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of trainers.
Ricardo, this is me casual.
I know, no, exactly. No, like, so that was the issue.
Yeah.
You know, can I do that kind of thing? And it's tricky because it's in your own mind when you become that person, you know. But that's interesting. But you did have a big sort of loss of team members, kind of, didn't you? Kinda, and was that before COVID? Did you kind of have a wee dip then, or was it?
With a couple, just before, like, so Nick was a couple of years before COVID.
Yeah.
So we'd actually we'd basically recovered a wee bit from when he left as well, and then as COVID hit, when we were off for COVID, Jane got an opportunity to open up her own salon in Coatbridge because that's where she was from. She's got 2 young kids. Travelling back and forth was getting a bit too much for her. So so the same, still speak to her, wish her all the best as well. So they all done really well. And then another one as well.
So at that point then
we were down to like 6, I think, maybe.
Right, okay.
As well. So we went from pretty much living like 8 stylists to 6 as well.
And kind of what's been the lowest point of kind of stylist numbers?
5 now.
Right.
As well. That was basically when we after COVID, everyone's kind of, I literally come in and done 7 days for about 2 weeks straight. But I think all the directors did, is there because you felt as if we've been off for so long, we need to bring that money back up.
Yeah, of course.
Because that was the same. It was like we literally paid a 10 grand VAT bill 2 days before COVID hit. And then it gets shut down. You're like that. I've got no money in the bank.
And it was wages week the next week.
And it was wages week as well.
It was wages week the next week as well. Like,
so I'd paid the VAT bill, the wages week, and then we went on to like the furlough. And I think people didn't realise that Alan and Linda were amazing. We
of course.
Helped out loads because you had to physically have the money in the bank to pay it as well. So
and the bounce back hadn't kicked in.
And
they were doing that thing on the news where they were telling you that the banks were helping, and it was like a 75% government funded loan, and they weren't giving anybody. It was so funny. They were on the news lying to the world, and then the day that the government announced that it was 100% backed by the government, the money was in the bank the next day.
Yeah.
The minute it was no risk to the banks.
To the banks.
So the idea that they did anything at that point was mince, and then 24 hours later they went bosh, and the money was obviously in the bank, and then that sort of saved. I still can't imagine the fact that if somebody had said to me that my business was shut for 9.5 months, that not only would I still be open, but I would open with more staff members.
Yeah,
like, you're off your head.
And actually physically end up doing a wee bit better as well, like before what it was when we stopped.
Well, everybody fell back in love with us, didn't they? It was kind of, they missed that, and then a lot of them went back to 6-week appointments as opposed to 8 weeks and all that kind of stuff. But it's had its dips and its pitfalls from there. So, sort of proudest moments so far of owning the salon. What kind of what have you look back and you look at it?
I think sometimes my proudest moment is other people's achievements as well. So I've always, because I just love teaching, it's always been a bit of my passion. Me seeing other people do really well, that I know that I'm thinking, oh, I have to be hand in that, I've taught them as well. So I think probably my biggest, proudest moment is other people's achievements.
And watching them qualify.
And watch them qualify, watch them open, like Tara taking on a franchise. Then ones like Renee that I've taught years ago, and like how far up she is in the company, and like Jodie for Bears Den, like all these really amazing wee superstars. I'm thinking, oh, I taught them back in the day.
Well, that is the other unique bit about teaching when you've done it at the academy, because obviously most people have taught in their own salon and their own members and ones that are still there or away or whatever. But you've then also got that thing of touching people that are in
other salons.
It's like Sarah Jane coming back to the brand now and working with me in Air, and of course she's sitting with Rachel going, well, I was Rachel's teacher at the academy, and Millie, who's my front of house, obviously qualified, but Sarah Jane that looked after her as well. So that broad reach into the brand is, you can't buy it.
No, you can't, and it's like just different situations. You've got so many, and even ones that have left and opened their own, you're thinking, oh, they've done so well outside of the thing. But but then I was the same. I worked with Sarah Jane in Great Western Road, and I taught with her in the academy. So we've all worked together for such a long time.
Well, this is the thing. It's kind of people looking from the outside in, I don't think realise just how much of a web it all is with all of us. That it always. It was that thing where if we were ever out anywhere as directors at a thing, and people would look over and just go, wow, whatever this is, it's unique. It's just this time. We've all been in the trenches together and all the different things. I think that I wouldn't say it's unique. There'll be other family brands, or there'll be other things that have grown that length of time, but we're actually sitting, so the brand's 46 years old at the time of recording. And sadly, Giorgio Armani had just passed away last week, and he was weeks away from his brand being 50 years and not getting to see it, I think is criminal.
It's quite devastating.
It's absolutely criminal. And so really we've got 3 years of planning to do, what would Rainbow Room International be? How would you promote that as a thing that's been around for 50 years? And and British hairdressing, to get that length of time is unbelievable, but to have that many people that have been part of it for 40 years, 30 years, however, Pam and David can't be far away from.
No, they must be, because
40 years at least.
Obviously started with David, and Pam was already in Buchanan Street.
So they were obviously long before myself as well. So we've got that timeline right back to obviously Alan and Linda starting it. So we need as many of these people to get to enjoy the 50-year thing as humanly possible. But it's weird that it's either famous businesses closing down that have had a legacy, or founders passing away. It always piques how unique it's been to have the brand for the length of time. And and obviously, like Alan and are still Alan doesn't cut hair, but they're still so active. We go and meet them once a month, and he's always on an email. You want to check this, do this. We're like, we're doing it. Is WhatsApp's pinging for that way. You'll like this, William. It's a big up to you as well. But I got he woke up at 5 a.m. the day that Lee's second podcast came out and watched it at 5 a.m. But ironically texted me at 6 a.m. to say, oh, I've watched it and it was brilliant. I'm like, did you honestly think you were going to get a reply from me at 6 in the morning about how good the podcast? Thanks, but I'll reply to you at 12 when my eyes are actually working. So you're at this stage now where you've got the business, you've consolidated it, we've got through the COVID bit, and we're at this sort of stabilisation period. So we're at the challenges that small business have in the financial environment that we're working in, and the sort of construct or constraints that government and legislation are putting us under just now. We've also got kind of staffing issues in respect to people maybe coming into hairdressing. How do you see the salon moving forward over the next? You're talking about 5-year plans.
Yeah. So as well, obviously, you kind of want the salon to grow and do that. But I'm thinking I've got such a new team now. Right. As well, from where I started to what I've got now, because obviously Tara took on the franchise at Great West Road 2 years ago now. So all my newbies are like, Sierra's the longest one. She's only been before for like 4 or 5 years. Well, she's been with me for 9 as well. Yeah. And then all my 2 newer ones are like literally, one's just been a year, one's a year and a half. And then me and Andrew. So we've got 5. Yeah. So obviously you want that to grow, you want to get back to getting like 6, then maybe get a wee bit more. But I think it takes them so much longer to grow now. To be where they feel really comfortable and steady as well. So wanting to keep growing. I've got a lovely, great wee new fresh team as well, and it's just building them as well. The thing that we beat ourselves up as salon owners in Rainbow Room is that we're that used to ourselves having stuck around for so long. Yeah. That the national average of a stylist to stay in any salon is 3 years. Yep. And as a salon owner, to have your complete team at the end of 5 years, you've bucked the trend. Yep. So when you go into that 6th year of every cycle, if you've got anybody left, you're better than the national average. And if your stylists have been with you longer than 3 years, then they're better than the national average. But we're not initially that used to seeing it, or we've just done a Jedi mind trick on us, that we've not really thought of all the people that were working beside us in the 90s and the thousands, and now we're into 2025, and you know, where are they all if they hadn't stayed with us? So I think we play that trick and are harder on ourselves. We probably are harder on ourselves because of that than we should be. But that's because we want that thing. We want to grow these careers in our salon, and we want everybody to be part of the thing and to see it grow and really kind of push on from where our generation pushed the brand on as well. Are you still, obviously with the sort of kind of the way that we've changed, how do you do your training now in the salon? So we don't even do a night class, and we just do ours during the day. And I'll just say, right, what time do you want model to come in at? I'll mark myself off, or Andrew will mark yourself. So one of us will mark ourselves off, and we'll do it one-on-one. Right, so it's individual. Because I've only got 3 assistants, so it's so much easier to do that. Of course. As well. And because otherwise what was happening was, for only having 3 assistants, for us to do a night class, we need to give them time back now. There was some days we're thinking, I've got no assistant in at this point as well, so I actually need an assistant in the salon. Of course. So that's how, so we do ours during the day. And then I guess with that as well, though, it's very specific to the individual now, that they're not... I was like, what do you need to do? What do you need to practice? Where you at in the academy? What do you need to practice for going in there? And then we'll do that. Right, great. And have you found that work? I feel that works much better for us as well. It just seems to work quite well in the salon. And then even sometimes, let's say, Ella Black, one of your clients, she wants in that space. I'm like, well, do you know what? Erin's got a space there, so she can take her through that. Yeah. So, and I feel as if my staff are good enough to be able to kind of do the same things. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I mean, I think that's it. I think we've got to. It's that Alan Austin Smith thing of what you're going to do about it then. So the rules of the game have changed. They've definitely changed a lot. Do you either just no play the game anymore, or do you try and be up to date with the new rules? And obviously that's where, but it's hard because
we saw how all the other stuff worked.
Yeah.
I think that's the bit I struggle with, in that you go, I've got a tried and tested formula that has worked for decades, and I struggle to implement it. And whether that's time owed, whether that's just, for me, it's travelling, because obviously I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll have some sort of person in the academy. So I find that really, really tricky, you know. So how long is that then you've had the franchise in total?
So 2012, so 13 years. Yeah,
right,
13 years this year.
So you're kind of halfway through your journey and your initial sort of stage with it. Where do you see it going in the next sort of 12 years? How do you, where do you see your role and Andrew's role in the business, and where do you want to take it moving forward?
I really like the way the business model is and the way the salon works. So I just want what we've got and just keep getting it better as well, and having amazing stylists coming through, good assistants coming through.
See, for the size of the salon, how many stylists do you feel, what would you feel would be like your kind of comfortable, optimal?
I think 6 is a really good number for our salon as well. Right. I remember being in before when we had it like years ago, when it was like, John, and then sometimes you'd have like, remember we had 9-10 stylists in, but there's 12 sections. So you just like, you've got no space as well. So I think 6 or 7 works out quite nice, because you've got 12 sections, so everybody can always have somebody with a colour on, but you still get another seat for somebody else.
Of course.
And the salon will feel really busy.
Yeah,
really
you're
busy,
getting the vibe from that. And then, and where are you in the split of part-time and full-time? Have you found that a challenge? Or?
No, we're okay just now. Like, they're all full-time.
Right. Which is pretty unique in
the brand. Which is quite unique just now, but because my stylists are still quite young as well, so they might go part-time at some point if they have kids as well, but at the moment they're all young, and they're at their level in the career where they really want to build and do that, so they don't want to take time off and be part-time just now.
Of course. And I guess as well, the other thing that we've got to slightly reprogram our brain to is the colour visit is longer. It's an hour longer than anything when kind of I was boy and all that kind of stuff, and you were losing seats in Buchanan Street. And, so I think that aspect is something that you then need to put into your utilisation. Because do you obviously you look at your normal utilisation and just bums on seats as to the hours that you're open. Do you have a look at adding your colour into it sometimes to just go, right, actually physically you were
actually doing work in that time? Because sometimes I think I only had 3 clients, and I was like, but you had 3 cuts and colours in, so you pretty much were doing work for 7 hours straight as well, and then you've had a wee break in between times.
I think that's probably a transition that's hard for us. Like,
we didn't have it.
Client numbers, and you had to do that many, but to a certain extent, you were, it was a root tint or it was a T-bar, and there wasn't the kind of, second colour service or, the kind of colour glossing or whatever it is we're adding on to it now, and just the sheer amount of colour correction that we do. I mean, things now that would be deemed a normal colour,
it's technically a colour correction.
Would be a colour correction, wouldn't it? So I think the utilisation of the salon, the kind of planning of how many people and how you've got in, you kind of got to change kind of slightly how we grew up. I think the rules of that game have changed, but that's kind of unique for you to have pretty much, or have a full-time team.
So we've got a small team, but they're all full-time.
But they're all in, and the synergy of that is great. Because you're all in, seeing what's going on. It's kind of good for you as well, because the message gets across a wee bit easier, because it's like, was everybody in that day that we discussed this? Obviously your one-to-ones scoop up that to a certain extent as well. Do you try and invest in yourself a wee bit? Like I'm going on a course tomorrow, as well. So I still go on courses. So I think my younger team see me and Andrew still doing stuff like that, and they're thinking. Because I remember one of them said to me before, "Why do you still go on courses?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And it's like, because it's a kind of job you're always learning. There's always something you can learn. There's always something more you can do. You can always better yourself some way. And they were just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I think they just assumed once you get to a certain point and you've got your salon and you've got all that,
that's it. You don't need to do anymore.
No.
As well, and that's not how it works. I was like, you would stand still and you wouldn't get any better.
Yeah. And it's more so when you're short of bodies and you're short of team members and you're short of stylists, you forget to invest in yourself that way. And it's like this, oh, I'm out the salon and I'm not doing that. And whether it's Rainbow International, whether it's other hairdressers, you know, watching on, you know, I can't, you know, say it enough that you've got to take that time. You know, it's a day out at the salon to put yourself in a room full of either people in a similar situation that you can just turn around and go, are you dealing with that? Are you doing that? And getting ideas. Being in a room, especially if it's an actual practical course. Yeah. Being in with the young guns. Yeah. And having to go.
They're actually really good to
yeah. You know, and I like that. I like that wee bit of pressure of going, right, well, I need to make sure I can still walk the talk here with that kind of thing. But equally being in the kind of sort of salon owners orbit as well is really good. And but my one this year is I've not been to Salon International for ages.
I've not been there for ages.
Not been for ages, so that's the one thing I've managed to get my toe back into. Most of all of the things I wanted to from when my team was really short. Yep. But the one I really want to get into that. So we're kind of we're near the end, but not near the end. So we're going to go into a couple of different sort of things, and you've got this kind of started now story with the brand. You've worked through it. You've seen changes in the industry. You've seen changes in yourself and your lifestyle, your work life, all of that. Is there anything you would have changed? Is there any moment where you would have went back and kind of changed it, or has the progression been?
No, I don't think so, as well. I think I am glad I did leave for the 6 months and go away, because I think that made me realise how much I did want to do it. Yeah. But no, I think I don't really have a type of any kind of regrets with anything. I think that it's something that you learn from. So I just feel as if everything that I've done, I can learn from it. Yeah, as well. Yeah, it happened for a reason. I can learn from it.
And are you one of these people that's kind of always looking that way anyway? You kind of, you were talking about your plans and all that kind of stuff. Are you kind of a forward-looking person as opposed to looking that way, which is very good for you. Yeah, very good for your head. How many 5-year plans have you ripped up and thrown in the bin?
I couldn't even tell you. It would be ridiculous amounts as well. Pretty much with our meeting with Alan and Linda, I've literally ripped one up and done you one like every time as well. You got me an idea and Alan just goes,
that's it.
And I'm like, okay, I'll think of something else.
Yeah, but it's still the best exercise. And then resetting goals. Yeah. Which is actually, it's so annoying that when you forget to do it. Yeah. You know, when you've sat there and you've hit the thing, and instead of going, okay, right, well, I've hit it, let's do the next thing, you kind of just forget it.
It is. I think it's when you're doing it for your team, you're thinking, right, what you're setting, what we're doing, where do you want to be? Yeah. I mean, Andrew's like, we've not done that for ourselves, we need to get that done for us as well. Yeah. Because you're too busy, I think, sometimes thinking about getting all the team to do it.
But that then drives you.
But then it drives us as well, and then they'll think, I'll do that.
You can't decide, well, I'm going to go and do this if you've got 5 stylists going, well, I need this input into my career, because you and Andrew have got to be the people to do that. So really, you can't make those decisions. No. And you can't put yourself through that until, you've got the global position of where you want the brand to be and all that kind of stuff, but you can't have that kind of plan in place if you've not got those other parameters.
And you need all their plans first as well.
No, that only makes sense. And the one sort of nugget of advice that Julianne sitting here now would give, well, we'll do it 2 parts, right? So stylish Julianne that was qualifying and going on the floor at GWR back in the day, is there any nugget that you would have given her to either you were doing it and double down on it, or something that you maybe seen somebody else do that you didn't do? Is there anything that you would sort of go back and
I would maybe say a wee bit, obviously I've done art team stuff, so I probably would have liked to maybe done a wee bit more of that as well. so that I don't get scared to go on stage.
Aye,
as well.
I
And
got
be in
this.
front of the camera as well.
That's it. It's okay. That's why you've got to talk to me instead of like
But that's
that.
how I'm going to do like that.
As much as you just look at the daft hat, you'll be
As
fine.
well.
And do you feel that that's just because, as a salon owner now, that obviously you've got people maybe wanting to do it, or where do you feel that left a hole in the?
I think sometimes when I watch like the artistic team do stuff, I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I could actually do that, and I know I actually could if I tried as well. But it's they make it look so effortless doing it as well. But it's that thing that they think it very artistic right from the start as well. When I'm thinking, I'd need to really think about that of how I'd want it to do that. Yeah,
that's why I go.
But
because there's a lot of similarity in you're a lot more organised than me, right? I aspire to be your organised self, but probably the way we think things through are probably pretty similar. And I need that spark first.
Yep.
And then that's, I'll take my motivation from that initial spark. Whereas, you sit in a room with Susie and Diana and, they've got 12 sparks.
Yes.
And they're all
floating about the place.
Picking about the sky, that way, whereas I'm sitting going, look, can we not just concentrate on one?
Just give me one first.
Just give me one and I'll focus from there. So that's good. And then, as salon owning, Julianne, sitting in the academy about to sign your name on the dotted line, is there any advice you would give that person now?
Just trust my gut.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, just trust my gut, and I'm thinking, yep, that feels right. Just do it.
Right, so talk to me about that then. So obviously you now looking back feel your gut's been pretty much right all the time.
Yeah, I feel as if I've kind of trusted my gut quite a lot of the way through it, and it's got me where I am.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of times where I probably questioned it a wee bit too many times, and that's when things kind of didn't go the way I wanted it to go.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
interesting. Because it's usually right, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's experience
But I think that is experience as well. And I think I always tell my younger stylist that as well. What does your gut say? And they're like that. I think that'd be fine. I'm like, yeah, well, it will be. Just go and do it.
So even like, as in from a hairdressing perspective, not suppose the business
not
side
even
of it,
even for both, like for hairdressing and business, like kind of trust my gut a bit more.
Don't use 6% bleach on that bit.
Did not use that on that.
It's all going to come back. Wow, that's great. And this is the weird one, right? And it's funny now because obviously it's different for me now. I'm in a more unique position because I've done my podcast.
Yeah.
And I now know that it's a wee bit more excruciating than I first thought. Right? And needless to say, mine's took a turn that nobody saw coming, I don't think. But so I'm a wee bit more understanding of this because this was the question I didn't really like and I actually found the hardest to do. And you're the first person getting hit with it. That's not very fair, is it? But have you got that proudest moment? Have you got that bit where, you're sitting at Congress and you're sitting, whether it's you and your brother, and you're just going, do you know what? We made that happen.
Yeah, as well. I think just Congress is probably a really good example. Like when it was like last year when all my stylists could get an award and they all got one.
Brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're just thinking,
brilliant.
Like all my team got something.
Yeah.
So even if it was just a qualifying award, but they still got something. They were all on stage.
Self-promotion, bonus, assistance, anything like that, that's massive.
And I think when you've got a small team, if one of them don't get it, you're a bit like, oh, that is so hard that one never got it as well. So I don't think my proudest moments are really about me.
No.
I think they're about achievements of other people.
Yeah, but you create the situation
but
for
I created
those achievements to be in, so that's where you take it. But that's a belter photograph at Congress when you've got everybody with a gong and they're standing there with that. And I would probably, I'd stake my house on it that the team don't think that you're thinking that way.
No.
Especially if you think that they're not going to get it.
Yeah.
because that's my worst. You know that way. You know, like within a year to the next, there's that parameter
They could
maybe on the 75. Like
mm-hmm.
Linda has explained it to me and shown me on the sheets 1,000 times.
Yep.
But at the end of the year, when I send them in, there'll always be one person I'm a bit unsure.
Yeah, do you think it's maybe 1% out something like that? They're going to get it, they're not?
I know that's the one, and it's not until the names have all been called out that you know. Because that's the other thing, you're sitting there waiting, and there could be 30 people up getting a self-improvement award, and your guys, you're going, is he doing it alphabetical order? Is he doing it by salon? Is he doing it by how long he's been in the brand?
How's it work?
You know, you're sitting there going like, oh man.
I mean, I've been at them since I was 14. I think I should know how it works by now, but you still get...
Yeah, but it's not the same twice.
He changes it all the time.
He changes the order in the way that he does it sometimes, but you know, that way. And I think that's he's having his fun up there and making the squirm. So, yeah, you're sitting there going, my proudest moment is through these other guys.
Yeah.
You're doing that. You're not really holding any regrets about what you've done.
Yeah. And
you're seeing the business going forward, and you're investing in what is a really exciting young crew that you've got coming through. So I think it has to be that coming up to this point and basically the end of your podcast, that Crow Road is in as great a state of health as it's ever been since it opened all these years ago.
And also just want to keep getting it better.
And where you're going in the future is it's only going to build. Well, Julianne, first of all, wasn't that bad, was it?
No, it was actually not too bad. Thanks.
See, you survived it. See, so you've been in front of a camera, you've talked about yourself for 2 hours, and you got a bar of chocolate.
I know, that is getting eaten
as soon as I leave. That's getting like sugar rush at the end. It's been my pleasure. I've learned, I mean, again, the thing that's unique for me is I sit here having known you all for all these years, and I still get these nuggets that are coming out, and we'll discuss dance classes after that, and then we'll need to come up with something for a congress number.
Right, okay.
Julianne, thank you.
Thank you so much. It was great.